This will be for the con exercise, independent probability. All right, so the main formula for this exercise, if A and B are independent events, the probability of both A and B equals the probability of A times the probability of B. All right, so if the events are independent, that means one does not affect the other one, okay? And the probability of A and B, or both of them occurring, you just multiply probability of A times the probability of B. Okay, and it could be more than 2 events. It could be 4 events. It could be 10 events. When you flip a coin, each time you flip a coin, it's independent of the last coin flip. All right, so if one does not affect the other, the events are independent, and you just multiply. All right, Captain Umaima has a ship, the HMS Khan. The ship is 2 furlongs from the dread pirate Nadia, blah, blah, blah. This is unnecessary information. The captain has a probability 3 out of 7 of hitting the pirate ship. All right, so we definitely need that. And the pirate only has 1 good eye, so she hits the captain's ship with probability of 2/5. All right, so the pirate hits probability of 2/5. They both fire at the same time. What is the probability that the captain hits, but the pirate misses? All right, let's see. All right, probability that the captain hits. Times the probability that the pirate misses. Okay. Now, why did I multiply? Why am I multiplying these? Well, they both fire at the same time. All right. So these events are independent. All right, one does not affect the other because they both fire at the same time. So these are independent events. That means we're just going to multiply them. The probability that the captain hits and the pirate misses. What's the probability that the captain hits? Right here. The captain has a probability of 3/7 of hitting the pirate ship. What's the probability that the pirate misses? The pirate hits with probability of 2/5. So what's the probability that she misses? Well, that is going to be 1 minus 2/5. All right. And if we do 1 minus 2/5, that's 5/5 minus 2/5 or 3/5. All right. So for the pirate miss, that's going to be 3/5. All right, it was 2/5 to hit, 3/5 to miss. You just subtract it from 1 because these hit or miss, those are complements of each other, so they add up to 1. Multiplying fractions, numerator times numerator, 3 times 3 is 9. Denominator times denominator, 7 times 5 is 35. So that's it right there. If they give you the probability that something hits and you want to find the probability that it misses, you just subtract it from 1. Okay, 1 minus 2/5 is 3/5 because 1 is the same as 5 over 5 and 5 minus 2 is 3. All right, 9/35. Don't reduce. Don't make it a decimal. Just leave it as is. If you flip a coin and roll a 6-sided die, what is the probability that you will flip heads and roll a 1? All right, the coin and the die are 2 separate events, and they are definitely independent. All right, you flip a coin, you roll a die, they do not affect each other. They are independent. So you can just multiply the probability of flipping heads and the probability of rolling a 1. All right, probability of heads times the probability of rolling a 1. All right, I'll write it out so you don't get confused. Probability of heads times the probability that you roll a 1. All right, they're independent, so you're just multiplying. What's the probability of getting heads? 50-50, right? You can write 0.50, but it's easier to just write 1/2. All right, there's a 1 out of 2 chance you roll a heads. How about the probability of rolling a 1? Well, the die has 6 sides, so the probability of getting a 1 is going to be 1 out of 6. Multiply fractions. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 6 is 12. Final answer. In the box, you just write 1/12. Don't turn it into a decimal, just leave it. All right, it says so-and-so is shooting free throws, making or missing. Doesn't change the probability that he will make the next one, and he makes his free throws 82% of the time. He makes it. What's the probability of him making none of the next 5 free throws? All right, so he's making none of the next 5 free throws. It says making or missing doesn't change the probability that he will make the next one. So these events are independent. All right. And making none of the next 5 free throws means the probability that he's going to miss 5 of them. Okay, he's making none of the next 5, so he's going to miss all 5. Now, it says he makes it 82% of the time. So that means the probability that he misses, since he makes it 82% of the time, it's just going to be 100% minus 82%. All right. So you either have to make it or miss it. That's why you're subtracting from 100%, and minus 82%, that's just 18%. All right, but we want to convert that to a decimal. You move it over 2 places, and that just equals 0.18. All right, that's the probability of missing each one. That's not for all 5. So the probability to miss 5, since they're independent, we're just going to multiply the 5 probabilities. All right. So these are all independent. That's why we're just multiplying. And on each one, it's going to be a miss. All right. He misses each time. All 5. We're trying to figure out the probability that he misses all 5. So they're all independent. We're all going to multiply. The probability of a miss is 0.18. That's times 0.18. Each time he misses, the probability is 0.18. And they're all independent, so they're all going to be multiplied. All right, so that's it. Now, you can do that 5 times on your calculator, but when you multiply something 5 times, you can also raise it to the 5th power. All right, so you can do it this way, or you can do it this way, 0.18 to the 5th power. Now, their answers are in a different form, okay? So really, the way we get 0.18, it's actually just 1 minus 0.82. Okay, that's how we get the 0.18. So really, this 0.18 is the same as 1 minus 0.82. And if you take that and raise it to the 5th power, it's the same answer. So let's look at their answers. Right here, answer A, 1 minus 0.82 to the 5th power. 1 minus 0.82 is the same as 0.18. Okay, they're just showing you where the 0.18 came from. So that's it right there. 1 minus 0.82, parentheses, 5th power. All right, so check if there's multiple choices, because you might have to do it in this form instead of entering an actual answer.